Hey guys, it's Karen Merrill. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about how to make 7 figures online. And this probably isn't what you think it's going to be. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. This channel is all about affiliate marketing, how to make money online, how to make money from home. And I do a lot of product reviews on this channel as well, just to let you make an informed buying decision. If those are topics that you want to learn more about, make sure you click the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you can be notified when I upload new videos each and every day. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about how to make 7 figures online. And the reason why I'm talking to you about this today is it's come up a lot lately with people who have joined me, and they hope that this works finally. They hope this will be the thing that works for them. But what I shared with you in another video, which I'll leave a link to this video below this one, was called Secret to Success Online. And in this video, I told the story of Paulo Barroso, who is a 7-figure income on, he's made 7 figures online. But he said that a lot of people will come to him who haven't had success and say, Paulo, what's your secret traffic source? Because they think if they get the right traffic source that finally they'll have success. And he said that he struggled for 5 or 6 years. Same thing. He was jumping from opportunity to opportunity, hoping that this would finally be the one that would make him money. And he just kept failing over and over again. He would just quit after he didn't make any money. And finally, his mentor said to him, Paulo, it's not your sponsor, it's not the opportunity, it's not the traffic, it's you. And until you fix you in your mind, you won't succeed. And he said at first he was offended, but then he realized that was true. He said he was taking the same Paulo Barroso to every opportunity with him, the same broke mindset, and therefore it didn't work. And you have to understand that if there's an opportunity where there's a lot of people making money, and you aren't, it doesn't have to do with the opportunity. It doesn't have to do with your sponsor. I mean, those things do help when you have some guidance, but ultimately, he said, it's you. And when he realized that and he changed and he fixed his mind, then that's when he went on to make 7 figures. So I'm going to, again, leave a link in the description below the video. And I had somebody ask me, like, how do I fix my subconscious mind? How do I fix those things that are wrong? And in this video, I didn't share this one here, Secret to Success. I just shared with you what the problem was. I didn't share the solution. But in this video, I'm going to share with you what is the solution to that. And this comes from Bob Procter's You Were Born Rich, specifically chapter 9, if you're listening to it on Audible. I'm going to leave a link to, you can get it on Audible here. I'll leave a link below the video. But this is the best money that you'll ever spend. I mean, you can get it, Audible is $14.95 a month. You can cancel any time. So this will change your life, I promise you. So, and I also have it for free. You can watch it on my blog here, the second video here. But specifically chapter 9, if you're listening to it on Audible. But you want to listen to the whole thing. So right now, you have in your mind cells of recognition for lack and limitation. Like you recognize the fact that you haven't had success before. Like you continue to fail. You never have enough money. Those are things you recognize that is so ingrained in your mind, like you've put it in there over and over and over again. So how do you change that? Well, in the an example of cells of recognition in the course here, You Were Born Rich, Bob talks about, he had somebody come up front and he had them close their eyes and he put an object in their hand. And it was I think it was a metal toothpick holder. Well, the person didn't know what it was because they had no cells of recognition in their mind. They've never been told what that was before. But let's say if you put like a comb in their hand, they would know immediately that was a comb because they've already learned that in the past. They have a picture of that in their mind. So it's the same thing with you. If you don't have any picture in your mind of what wealth is and what success is, then you can't create that in your life. You first have to develop cells of recognition for prosperity and what you want in your life. You can't create it first and then have a memory of it. You have to actually create it in your mind first, and then you'll see it in your life. So how are you going to develop cells of recognition for what you want? The first thing you're going to do is listen to Bob Procter's You Were Born Rich for 30 minutes a day. Okay, so again, you can get it on Audible or you can listen to it on my blog. I'll leave link in the description below this video to my blog post. But the reason why you want to listen to it 30 minutes daily is because each time you listen to it, you are a different person and you will get something different out of it. In fact, I've listened to this. This is probably the 4th time I've listened to it, and it's a 10-hour web seminar. And each time I get something different out of it. And this time I was like, okay, I need to do this. I've done things similar to this, but I haven't done exactly this. And I've listened to it for 30 minutes daily. But each time you will become a different person. You will get something different out of it. In fact, Bob has read the book Think and Grow Rich every single day for, I think it's been 30 years. He reads it 30 minutes a day because each time he gets something different out of it. And shout out to Josh Elder, his Inner Circle, because I had listened to this before You Were Born Rich seminar on Audible, before I even went through the 0 to 10K challenge. But in here, he says listen to it 30 minutes a day. So I started doing that, and it's really made a huge difference in my life. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you're going to write down a description of the person you intend to become and exactly what you want in your life. But it has to be in the present tense, and it has to be only positive. Like, you don't want to say, I don't want to have any debt. That's negative. So you want to be financially free. You want to have more income than your expenses, 5 times the amount of income as your expenses, or something like that. But it can't be in the negative terms. And so this is gonna allow you to build cells of recognition in your brain, like, okay, that's who I am, rather than I am that person who fails at everything, like nothing ever works for me. And this is a great quote in the course that he had, was by Cary Grant, and Cary Grant said, I acted like Cary Grant so long, I became him. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to create this person that you want to be, and you're going to encode that into your mind so long that you become that person. Third thing you're going to do is record what you just wrote down on a voice recorder. Now, I added this in there. He didn't say this in there, but this is something that I learned from, I can't remember what the CD was, but a part of it was Bill Bartman, who is a billionaire, and he helped countless people become millionaires, so he really knows what he's talking about. But he said in there an example of Dennis Rodman, who was one of the greatest rebounders in the NBA. He said that before each game, Dennis Rodman would be sitting on the bench with headphones on. Everyone else would be warming up, and all his teammates thought that he was lazy. But what he was doing was he was listening to himself on a recording tell himself that he was the best rebounder in the NBA. And when you tell yourself what you already are in your own voice over and over and over again, you become that person. And that's exactly what Dennis Rodman did. So you can get out on your phone your voice recorder. So you write down a description of the person you want to be, then you record what you wrote down. And then you want to get into a relaxed state, because that's when your subconscious mind is the most susceptible to suggestion. So get into a relaxed state, read what you wrote about the person that you want to become, listen to what you record, and then write it out at least twice a day. And then you're going to begin to develop cells of recognition for the person that you want to become. It's super powerful. I can't even tell you what this will do for you. And then these are some other things that I do, and he advocates this in there as well as the strangest secret here with Earl Nightingale, is that you write out your goals on goal cards. And I'm not going to get into exactly how you write them, but that is important. If you have any questions on that, leave a comment below and I'll answer you. But basically, I always say, I promise by December 31st, 2019, I am earning blank amount of money. Asking is given, seeking you shall find, knocking the door should be opened unto you. This is in the strangest secret, but we won't get into that. But something in the positive, not like I will, is I am. And then you review that. You want to laminate it, carry it with you at all times. I do that. Review it as often as possible throughout the day. Even if you can only do it like in the morning, at night, that's fine. But Bob says, as often as you can go over that in your mind, the better. And then you want to just close your eyes for a few seconds, visualize that already being accomplished. So that's the fifth thing. Then you want to develop a positive expectation, because you can have all the desire in the world. If you don't expect to achieve it, then you won't. And how can you get positive expectation? You want to create a space for what you want. An example of that is, one of my goals is to get the 100,000 subscriber reward from YouTube, and you get that in the mail. Well, if you can do things right now that you would do as if you already had it, then it'll come faster. So what's the first thing I would do if it came in the mail, or when it comes in the mail? I would put up a nail in my office. So I already have that nail up in my office. I already know where I'm going to hang it. So that's a positive expectation that that's where it's going to go. So let's say you want to go on a cruise to Hawaii. Do all the things that you would do if you had the money. What would be the first thing you would do? You would look up how much plane tickets are. You would find out where you're going to leave from, plan the whole trip. You can plan it before it happens. If you want let's say you want a piano, leave a space in your living room where that's going to go. There's already, this is where it's going to go. And sit down with a piece of paper and say, what are all the things I can do right now to create a space for what it is that I want in my life? Like maybe you can go to the bank and open a bank account. That's where all your money's going to go. You have to have a space for it. Don't wait until you get it. It's actually the other way around. You want to create a space for it first, and then it'll come into your life. And then the last thing is to write out your goals twice a day. The goals that you write on your goal card, you want to write them out twice a day, and I learned this from Les Brown. And what that does is it encodes it into your subconscious mind. When you actually take your hand and write it take a pen and write it on a piece of paper, there's something that happens neurologically that encodes that into your subconscious mind. So that, when I started doing that, things really started happening for me. Like last month, my goal was $7,500 in sales, and I actually exceeded that. It was $11,000 last month in sales. And so these things absolutely work. It's not, the traffic source and the training and all that is important, yes, but what happens is you start to attract the right people and attract the right opportunities to you when you have these things going right in your subconscious mind. So let's just review again. You're going to write out exactly you're going to listen to Bob 30 minutes a day. Write out a description of what you want to be, exactly everything you want in your life. Record it on your voice recorder. Get in a relaxed state. Read what you wrote, listen to what you recorded, and then write out what you recorded, or write out the description of yourself. And then the other two things are to have your goals on goal cards laminated, keep them with you at all times, review them as often as possible throughout the day, then close your eyes, visualize a little bit what that looks like for you, and then write those goals out at least twice a day. And then this isn't going to take you too long as you go through it, but if you do this every single day, twice a day, I'm telling you, things will absolutely change in your life, as they have for me, changed for Paulo. And just try not to say, I hope this happens, but actually realize that when you take personal responsibility for what happens in your life, that things will happen. And I used to think that everybody else, if they change, or this would change, or that would change, then I would be happy. But when I realized it was me and I changed myself, first of all, it's the most empowering thing that can ever happen to you, because you don't feel like success lies outside of you. You don't feel like your success is your sponsor, your opportunity, whatever. It's you, and you can make it happen. And that's when things started changing for me. And I know that things can change around for you. And I wanted to do this because I see so many people struggling and they think it's the opportunity or the traffic or whatever. And yes, you do want those things to work for you, but you have to start with the cause, which is your mind. So I hope you guys found some value in how to make 7 figures online. That's one of my goals, and I know it's a lot of people's goals. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, leave them in the comments below this video. If you want to contact me, my contact information is in the description below this video as well. Also, if you'd like to learn my #1 recommendation for making money online as well as offline and some incredible bonuses, those will be the first 2 links in the description below this video. You can check it out if you like. With that being said, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.